At 64, Ian Baker-Finch lives quietly with memories that still puzzle him. His wife recently revealed that he continues to wrestle privately with one haunting question. After decades of reflection, the former Open champion still admits, "I bloody well want to know what happened as well." The story begins with golf's cruelest irony. A triumph that should have crowned a career instead became the seed of its destruction. July 21st, 1991. Royal Birkdale. Ian Baker-Finch entered the final weekend 4 shots behind the leaders. What happened next was pure magic. Saturday brought a sensational 64 that catapulted him into the lead, but Sunday was otherworldly. Baker-Finch fired a front 929, making birdies on 5 of the first 7 holes. He described being in the zone, seeing an iridescent white line from his ball directly to the flag. His caddy Pete Bender captured the feeling perfectly. It was like riding the champion racehorse Secretariat. All Baker-Finch had to do was stay on, and victory was assured. He won the Open by 2 strokes, lifting the claret jug in triumph. In that moment, he became a household name, an international star. He felt placed on a pedestal as a major champion. But that perfect day created an impossible standard. Baker-Finch later admitted the victory clouded his mind with unrealistic expectations for the remainder of his career. He developed a belief that he had to play like that all the time, a standard he now understands is only achievable occasionally. The identity of Ian Baker-Finch, the Open champion, became both a public and private burden he felt compelled to uphold. The decline didn't happen overnight. In 1992, Baker-Finch still managed a tied 6th at the Masters and runner-up finish at the Players' Championship. He won tournaments in Australia in 1992 and 1993. His last top 10 finish on the PGA Tour was a tied 10th at the 1994 Masters. But internally, the struggle had begun. Baker-Finch acknowledged he was a bit hard on myself, thinking I needed to consistently perform at an unrealistic level. This constant self-monitoring placed enormous cognitive demands on him. The first clear warning signs appeared in 1994 when he started to miss a lot of cuts. He specifically recalled missing 5 cuts by a shot in a 7-week period, a pattern he attributed to being just mental. Missing cuts by a single stroke proved psychologically devastating. It created a narrative of almost, suggesting the skill was present, but something elusive was preventing success. This pattern reinforced self-doubt in the persistent feeling of being just not quite getting it. If he had performed terribly, the problem would have been clearly fundamental. But missing by 1 stroke implied competence with a critical flaw in high-pressure moments. Between 1995 and 1996, Baker-Finch's game fell off a cliff. In 1995, he missed all 15 cuts he played on the U.S. Tour. The following year saw him make only 1 cut in 19 tournaments. From 1994 to 1997, he endured a staggering streak of 32 consecutive missed cuts. He articulated his profound loss of confidence with heartbreaking honesty. "I lost my confidence. I got to the point where I didn't even want to be out on the golf course because I was playing so poorly. I would try my hardest, but when I came out to play, I managed to find a way to miss the cut time and time again. It became a habit." His struggles centered particularly on his driver and the fear of hitting a snap hook off the tee. He described a mental block for whatever reason that wouldn't allow me to hit a drive when there was a tight hole or an out of bounds down the left. This fear factor intensified significantly under pressure, especially in major championships. Baker-Finch's challenges were characterized as full-body yips. The yips are defined as a sudden and unexplained loss of the ability to execute certain skills in experienced performers. His consistent ability to hit shots flawlessly on the practice range, only to falter severely on the first tee in competition, pointed to performance anxiety rather than lost skill. The gap between practice perfection and competitive collapse suggested his underlying motor programs remained intact, but access was blocked by psychological interference. Confronted with his decline, Baker-Finch actively sought solutions. He undertook extensive self-help, reading every book on performance and mental fortitude. In 1995, he took 6 weeks off in the middle of the year to go to the gym twice a day and see a yoga master and do a lot of work on my body and mind. Despite these efforts, he returned to competition, missing the cut by a shot, just not quite getting it. He tried hypnotherapy, though his assessment was telling. He quipped that the hypnotist might now need a hypnotist himself. While the hypnotist could occasionally induce a zone-like state, they could never get me to get to such a positive state that I could really get by the scar tissue that I had developed over a year or 2. Baker-Finch's reference to scar tissue serves as a powerful metaphor for cumulative psychological trauma from repeated failures under pressure. Each missed shot and missed cut added layers to this mental block, making it more robust and resistant to conventional interventions. He also attempted to fix his swing, though he now reflects that probably nothing really needed to be fixed, but I was trying to do stuff I didn't really understand. This highlights how athletes often misattribute psychological issues to technical flaws. The 1997 Open Championship at Royal Troon marked the end. Despite being exempt as a past Open winner until age 65, Baker-Finch harbored significant doubts about playing due to a back injury and ongoing struggles. He later called his decision to play the worst decision he ever made. In the first round, he recorded a shocking 20 over par 92. He described the experience as a nightmare, hitting every drive in the left rough on a day when the wind was howling at 40 miles an hour. After signing his scorecard, Baker-Finch cried in the locker room that afternoon. His overwhelming thought was, "I just can't do this anymore." He withdrew after the first round, citing a combination of a back injury and a total loss of his game. He later reflected on the profound impact of that score. If he had not played that first round in the 1997 Open, he believes he may have figured it out, come back and played again. "My score of 92 left me with so much baggage. The fear of going out and doing it again became an insurmountable barrier for me." Unlike many athletes who struggle after retirement, Baker-Finch's transition into broadcasting was immediate, seamless, and necessary. He recognized the need to find a plan B to provide for his young family. For nearly 3 decades, he has become a respected voice in golf, serving as a television commentator for CBS and other networks. He finds immense satisfaction in narrating significant moments for other players, admitting he became an emotional mess, watching victories like Adam Scott's Masters win. Most remarkably, Baker-Finch leverages his experiences to assist struggling players with yips or driver issues, mental issues. He views former players like himself as an underutilized resource in mentoring and coaching. He offers this assistance without charge, finding reward in seeing potential realized in full and helping their self-belief in big-picture perspective. Baker-Finch now approaches his past with detachment, able to laugh about it and finding it cathartic going through all the stories and remembering. He acknowledges his career made his life, and he will always be an Open champion. Despite decades of reflection, Baker-Finch still doesn't fully understand what happened. His admission that he bloody well wants to know what happened as well underscores the complex nature of performance anxiety and the yips. His wife's recent revelation shows this question still occupies his private thoughts. The exact causes of such profound mental blocks often remain mysterious, even to those who experience them. But Baker-Finch has transformed his greatest defeat into his greatest contribution. His vulnerability and candidness create powerful connections with struggling players. His ability to articulate shared human experience makes his guidance authentic and trustworthy. Ian Baker-Finch's story teaches us that talent and physical prowess alone are insufficient without psychological resilience. His competitive career ended prematurely, but his response to failure proved more impressive than his victories. He found meaning beyond the scorecard. His successful transition into broadcasting and role as a compassionate mentor illustrate remarkable personal growth. His profound struggle provided him with unique empathy and insights he now uses to help others. At 64, Baker-Finch may still wonder about the mysteries of his decline, but he has discovered something more valuable than understanding why he fell. He learned how to transform pain into purpose, vulnerability into strength, and his deepest wounds into his greatest gifts to others. The loneliness his wife revealed isn't from isolation. It's the solitude of a man who carries scars that helped heal others, still pondering golf's greatest riddle while living as its most redemptive answer.